I would say about a week ago or so, we had the story that there will be a national census in 2023 around the month of March or April. And that, stirred a lot of reactions, considering the fact that that will be the same period when we'll be having the general elections in the country. And so a lot of people are wondering, how will this be? This is coming after more than 15 years since the last census was carried out in Nigeria. Long overdue, you will say. Now we have in the studio Alhaji Inuwa Jalingo, who will be joining us to talk about this, national census that we are proposing. He is the Census Manager, National Population Commission, and he'll be talking to us about this. Thank you for joining us on Daybreak this morning.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah. All right. Well, first of all, let's begin with the fact that it's long overdue, having a national census for Nigeria. And why did it even have to linger this far?
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. As you'll agree with me that the census is supposed to be decennial. That is the United Nations recommendations. A lot of countries have been doing that some like India has been doing that for over 100 years. And even within Africa, Ghana has had a consistent census. Even in 2021, when the COVID pandemic was ravaging, Ghana still went ahead to do its census, making sure that they don't shift the date. Similarly, Kenya in 2019. And in Nigeria, we're trying to be there, and it's supposed to be in 2006. The commission have started planning. Now we had a new government that came in, and they need to settle down, and the economy and a lot of other factors might have contributed to not doing the census at the right time. And we believe that taking a decision now to go ahead with it next year is still not too late. We're a bit late, but at least not too late. We are glad that it's going to happen eventually.
Should it be that hard to have a national census, especially these days that we have technology aiding virtually every process?
Yeah, I think, like I have said generally, we are deploying technology for this census, and I think going forward, it's not going to be this hard. Like the mapping exercise we embarked upon, we started in 2013, believing that we are going to have, in 2003, believing that we are going to have it in 2013, believing that we are going to have a census in 2016. So, and this is a process. Now we have an updated map, which is digital based. We don't need to go and do this massive exercise again, like mapping the country. All we need to do is to update the maps and do a census. And the mapping is the bedrock. It took us this long until this government came in and gave us a lot of funding to be able to complete the mapping, which we have done and completed almost for 772 local government out of the 774 local government areas. So I think with that push in terms of mapping and with the digital information, geospatial database we have for our mapping, we need to just update if there's going to be a census next time. So these are some of the things that technology is trying to reduce in terms of the census process.
Okay, I was happy when I saw that speaking, the DG said it's going to be highly digital. That's a good thing. However, has the commission thought of insecurity situation in the country? How is it going to affect the success of the exercise if things continue as they are at the moment?
Yeah, like security, yes, it's in perspective. Is that clear? But you know that what we have done with the enumeration area demarcation, like I've said, we have done 772 local government areas of the 774. And I can tell you, just about last week, we rounded up a updating of our ES in 171 local government areas. We didn't have any security issue. I'm not saying that there is no security, but the issue of security is something that is here, and we have to deal with it. We have to live our life. Government, you expect government to still build schools. You expect government to provide food. You expect government to provide education. You expect government to provide health despite security. And government needs data to plan for all this in all parameters. Even the security itself, government needs to plan. The Inspector General of Police will tell us this area of where you are located. How many people, how many police are covering this area? Are they properly covered? The Inspector General of Police needs data to do that. So everything is data. And apart from that, Nigeria is signatory to a lot of international. We are signatory to the SDGs. We need to provide data to benchmark Nigeria against other countries as far as the SDGs are concerned. The Africa, we need Agenda 2063. We need socio-demographic data to be able to benchmark this. Our economic recovery growth plan, it needs data to be benchmarked. Even the elections we are doing and all these things, if an incoming governor is coming in, he's supposed to be benchmarked against some basic socio-demographic characteristics, so that at the end of his tenure, I have improved literacy from 30% to 40%. I have improved school enrollment from this percentage to, and that is the only way we can have evidence and result-based planning for development. So data is key. It's not something that we are going to negotiate because there is insecurity. Even this insecurity itself requires data. So basically.
Talking about insecurity and data again, would you say that part of the reasons why we are having difficulty in dealing with issues of insecurity that we are having at the moment, and proper planning and strategic approach to issues, is because we do not have this census updated, and we do not have a proper, I would say, a number of what Nigerians are as per data.
Yeah, like I said, you can never digress everything from the social factors. Is that clear? Even the security, there are social dimensions, and we need to know these social dimensions, and we can only do it if we have data. Myself and yourself are sitting down in the studio. Why are we not carrying guns on the street? Because our lives have been planned in a way. We went to school, we have work, and we don't expect our family to do that. So we need to know, and Nigeria is a very fast-growing population in terms of youth. We need to know what are these youth doing, what are they up to, what is their level of education, and all these things for us to better plan them and put them to be better people in the society. So that is why it's so critical, and I want us to look at it in that perspective.
Now, this census seems to be coinciding with a lot of things. How realistic is it? If you look at the fact that within that period we are going to be having the general elections. So how realistic is this timeline that the Population Commission is using?
Sitting here, I can tell you it's very realistic. We have looked at everything in perspective, and before recommending those dates for government, we have looked at the primaries to take place, and we are going to do a pilot, which is going to be the dress rehearsal for the census in June. And after the elections, by the time we tidied up the election around 11th of March, we are going to run the training process leading up to the actual census in April. So it is very realistic. We've been planning, like I have said, we started planning, and this government gave us the impetus to plan more. We have almost completed the enumeration area demarcation, except for some little spots that we are looking at. And at the same time, we have done a first pre-test, second pre-test. We are planning for the pilot in June. So as far as I'm concerned, I know that, and like I have said again, we are going to do a digital census.
So how are you intending to ensure that this is done safely? Because don't forget, we have insecurity issues that we're dealing with. And I am sure that the Population Commission will be deploying ad hoc staff, across the states and all of that. We have had experiences where INEC will deploy ad hoc staffs, and then at the end of the day, they don't get to, go for fear of, being attacked and all of that. So how do you intend to, ensure safety even as you embark on this exercise?
Yeah, safety is first. And like I have said, we have just finished 171 local government areas. And if you are following the news item, you can see that the executive chairman of the commission have undertaken series of meetings with high-ranking military officers, police, civil defense. All is this to ensure that we work in safe space. Is that clear? So we are trying to, it's all networking, it's all synergy. And any government activity or this thing will be taken, and it's going to be from the support. The people who are going to recruit for the census are coming from those communities where they exist. They are not coming from any other place. The moderators are going to come from these communities, and we are networking with the traditional rulers, and a lot of advocacy is going on with the governors and all these things to ensure that we have space for the census. We have done demarcation, and coming out from the experience of our demarcation at least. And, You see, our enumeration area demarcation, you need to see it because it's not as if we say we have visited a place, if we say we came to Daily Trust, we have the geo coordinates of Daily Trust. We can't get it anywhere except if we come to Daily Trust. And that is how we have all the geo coordinates of all standing buildings in Nigeria in those local government areas we said we have covered. If you come to us, we'll narrow it to your own house, your own building, your own house in Abuja or in your village. These are things that we have. We have one of the greatest or highest repository of geospatial data, I think, in Africa.
Okay, this June pilot.
Yeah.
Can you walk us through it? How is it going to look?
Yeah, the pilot exercise is supposed to be a dress rehearsal for the actual census process.
So you're going to send staff to every part of the country?
Yeah, we are going to send staff to every part of the country, but in selected areas. But we want to mimic the census so that whatever we are going to do for the census will be done during the pilot exercise, end to end. You know, we have done first pretest and second pretest. That does not mimic the census process itself. From our recruitment, to our field deployment, to our tablet provisioning, from the data collection, from the monitoring dashboards, all these things are going to mimic exactly what we plan to do in the census. Anything that we do not do in the pilot, we are not going to try it in the census. And this is to ensure that census is a very big, gigantic project, that you don't try new things. You have to try things that have been tested and found to be working. And you can imagine deploying 1.5 million people working all over. You are coordinating them in an integrated manner.
How long is that exercise going to last?
The actual enumeration is going to take about 5 days, and we have a mop-up. But prior to that, we have training of data collectors, where we are going to use mixed methods. We are going to start with the self-training. We provide all the tools for them to train on their own. We are going to do an online training, and then we are going to do a physical training leading to the census. And all these is to ensure that we get high quality data. And one thing we are going to bring to Nigerians, especially the youth that will be involved, by the time they go through this, I can tell you we will have built their capacity in so many ramifications.
So how exactly are you intending to deploy the use of technology now? I'm talking about the process of how Nigerians who want to be counted, do they get opportunities such as maybe something they can enroll, or they can register themselves from the comfort of their homes or from the comfort of their office? Is there some kind of online arrangement where they can, just go fill in their data and something like that and then be captured?
Yeah, for Nigeria, what we are planning now is that we are planning direct data capture. We go on canvasser method. We go and collect information from the Nigerians in their own households, in the building where they live, during the reference period of the census. But some countries like South Africa, who are about rounding their census, they did what they call Kawi and Kati, whereby they can go through telephone and get information. The Commission is exploring probably the use of Kawi, but it's going to be limited if eventually they adopt to diplomatic staff who sometimes getting access to their houses are becoming challenged, and who we believe that can give us accurate and reliable data. This is still under exploration, but they're used in different countries. But what we are deploying now, the Commission has already taken decision, is that there is going to be a canvasser method. We come with our computer-assisted personal interview system and ask questions and collect responses and transmit the data.
Okay, how far have you gone in the area of sensitization? Because some people may not allow your staff into their homes to count them. Some people may not be ready to give out this information when you ask them. That's why there's a need for...
I'm happy we're here. And I believe that a lot of people are watching us, and it's going to be a continued process. The engagement, the advocacy, and if you look at our national chairman has been traveling the states, first of all, doing it at the highest level. We expect the commissioners to go in their own states and also the advocacy at the lower levels. And a lot will happen in the media space. We are going to carry our questionnaires to all the states of the Federation and tell the people in the states these are the questions that we are going to ask for the census. And we are also going to do it at the national level. So the Commission has planned a series of activities leading to the fact that by the time that the bell rings for the census or the pilot, every Nigerian will be aware that there is going to be a census, and these are the likely questions and to be asked. and from them.
Okay, what are the guarantees that this process will not be hijacked by political interests and manipulations? Yes, to an extent we have a digital process sort of, but one of the issues that have been very controversial in Nigeria is issues of national census. A lot of people raised, objections as to the fact that the figures does not reflect the reality of what the demographics are in Nigeria. So how can this exercise that you are planning give some kind of confidence to Nigerians that it is an independent process and it is free, it's accurate?
Yeah, thank you very much. I want to tell you I've taken part in 2 censuses in Nigeria, 1991, 2006, all of them at high levels, and thank God I'm the census manager. I know the process we are deploying. It's unlike the traditional census. The digital platform provides you limitless of opportunities. When I say limitless, I mean limitless of opportunities. When we were doing the census in 2006, we tried to do digital maps, but it's limited. But now we have all the physical buildings in our delineated enumeration areas. We have an idea about the number of households in those buildings. Is that clear? And during the census enumeration, we are going to update, we are going to go back to those enumeration areas. If there are any updates, we update them. If there are no updates, that one will be set to a validation process. And if it did not meet the parameters of our validation, we have to go back to the ground and ground truth. All these activities are going to happen leading to the census. During the census process, we have what we call 5-tier data quality strategy. And this is all to ensure quality assurance and also the data collected are real and true. The digital platform provides us opportunity to do a lot of things, my brother. Because anytime you say is that the digital knowledge is based on the limit of your own capacity to use it. If you look at the simple Excel sheet or the simple Word file, what somebody will do with Excel, somebody will do the whole of modeling of a project using Excel. Somebody can only do simple calculations. But we have observed what countries that have done digital census in Africa have done. And there's a lot of opportunity to give Nigerians a high, very quality data, verifiable data, and data that will be acceptable to all Nigerians. And this, we want to do it in a transparent manner. That's what the Commission is doing. And this is something that at the point in time, even from our pilot census, we will invite everybody, the media, to come and see the process. Because whatever an enumerator is doing at any point in time in Nigeria, the chairman of the commission can look at the dashboard and say, this enumerator has spent 20 minutes in this house, this enumerator is here. So it provides us all these limitless of opportunities to give Nigerians very accurate and reliable census. And we are working hard to be able to deploy that through our able leadership of our chairman.
All right, well, we'll be taking a short breather now. We're speaking with Alhaji Inu Ajalingo, the Census Manager at National Population Commission, and he's responding to issues regarding the proposed national census in the coming year. Now, we'll take a short breather, and when we come back, the show will continue. Please stay.